Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Limited Lorcana. I'm sorry it's been so long. I think previous episode I talked about I was moving. I'm finally moved in and unpacking everything. And my dog, Buddy, who is my profile picture for the YouTube, he's settling in good. And Ronaldo, who's a crested gecko that I own, they're both doing really good. So that's great. I'm glad to finally be in the new place, and I'm ready to get started. We're going to be doing a draft of the new set, Shimmering Skies. So let's get in there. First pack, so Pete and Coda, neither of these are something we really want to first pick. Bruni is pretty good. Evasive 2-2. Quest for 2 is really good. Hypnotic Strength's great. Fix It Felix is good. There's a lot of good cards in this pack that will most likely come back around. Probably going to first pick this Bruni. Chaka's pretty good too, but again, just not going to outweigh an Evasive. Evasives are just so powerful, especially in draft where you could almost pick every Evasive if you had the option. And we fortunately have the option to take another Evasive. It's an Archimedes foil, which I'd probably take even if it wasn't evasive, just because I like the art, and in foil it looks really good too. Okay, what do we have here? We have Pete. We have a King of Hearts, which can be a really good way to deal with evasive if you don't have evasives, being able to just stop them from readying. Took, who's pretty good for stats, 4-4 for 4. Donald Duck can give us some ramp. Maleficent, who has a little bit of synergies. Hypnotic Deduction can really help us with a lot of uninkables that we're going to get. I think we have a 4 and a 5. I think we're going to take this Hypnotic Deduction. Kind of helps us if we're pretty high on uninkables. Um, but I'd also argue that Donald Duck and Took are both really good picks. But I really do value the ability to do this, and I don't know if I'm going to get too many back. I think the AI doesn't draft a lot, but in person it's a little different. So we could take the Stitch, who's really good. We have some evasive, so we're not super pressed, but the Stitch's ability to ping is pretty good. I think we're gonna take. I guess we just had this conversation about a 4-4 for 4, but we're gonna take a Rancis again. The stat line is still just really good. Duck for cover might come back around. That's a really good one. We're gonna take Ludwig von Drake. 5-drop 4-4 quest for 3 is great. White Rabbit is also in contention. 3-drop 3-4, really good. King Candy is a good 1-drop, but again, I'm not so worried about prioritizing taking 1-drops this early. And for sure, um, you want to be able to curve out, but missing turn 1 is not as bad as missing turn 2. It's much more important that you have enough turn 2s that you're gonna have a turn 2 than it is to have that. Think we're probably going to run Stitch. Emerald Chromacon could also be all right, but I think we're just going to go with a Stitch here. Um, there is some synergy with Maleficent and Arthur in this set. I don't know which one technically has more, though. We don't have any 2s yet, but I'd really rather get like a 2-3 or a 1-4 and like some ability to do something. We're going to take Stitch for now. Prince John's Mirror, Hypnotic Deduction, are both good considerations. Rapunzel's Tower can be okay. Pacha's, you kind of have to build around it. Think we're probably going to take this Prince John's Mirror. And if we're on the play, it can be good. And if we're not, it's Ink. Archimedes or Zazu. We're going to take Zazu for sure. 3-5. He outlives Archimedes. And if Archimedes swings into Zazu, Archimedes lives, but he only does 1 damage back. So if you're able to heal Zazu or do something else, you're able to trade up. We're going to take a Hypnotic Strength. Hopefully we get some 1-4 2-drops. We're going to take this Hypnotic Deduction. Don't really need any more of those now. Ruby Chromacon can be good. Being able to use it every turn does make a difference. Not going to run that Sapphire Chromacon if we don't have to. Basil's a great 1-drop. What else do we have here? Maid Marian's good 6-drop. Invited to the Ball a lot of times is basically 2-drop uninkable draw 2. This can be a little bit of a trap. You have to be very low to the ground for it to work, so don't think I'll be taking that. Don't know if on is really what we're looking for, but it does give me an ability to take characters out before they're able to quest. Glimmer versus Glimmer is really good too. Maid Marian's great. I think I'm gonna take this Basil though. He's just such a strong 1-drop, 2-1. Um, Yeah, some canais. These are really good with the basil and the hypnotic strengths we have. Allows us to trade up, keep a body on the board, quest and everything. So we're gonna take monster though. 5 drop 5/6 is just so good. Most cards you're just gonna outstat. You'll be able to take them out. Happy gives us another way to deal with evasives, and he's a 1 drop. Gazelle is a 2 quester. You could argue you might run. Yeah, I'm happy with Happy though. What do we have here? Most likely a Maid Marian. Yeah. Maid Marian, Hypnotic Deduction's okay. You could even take Metal of Heroes. Magical Aid's not bad either, it's pretty good. But I think we're gonna take another big dropped character. And it has an effect that's relevant. And I think hers is until the start of the turn. Let's see, Maid Marian. Yeah, -5 until the start of your next turn. So it actually lasts a good amount of time. We're gonna take a Chaka, good 4 drop. We're gonna take an Ed, great 4 drop. We're pretty high on 4 drops now though. We're gonna probably take Monstro. Could be King Candy though. We have a lot of high static characters. I think we're gonna take the King Candy for the ability to look at 2 cards. Maybe help us get an answer if we need it. Sven is great. Taffeta, we don't have any locations. Sven just being able to ready a character can allow you to challenge twice or quest and then challenge and get value. So Glimmer versus Glimmer is great. You almost always want one if you can get it in your deck. Duck for Cover, again, one of those cards you almost always want one. Evil Comes Prepared gives us a chance to ready. Probably not going to run it though. Metal. So right now it looks like we're cutting Sapphire, Metal, maybe Prince John's Mirror. Evil Comes Prepared, and that's pretty much it. I'm not unhappy with this at all. This is a great spot to be in. So we got a couple 2 drops. We got a Daisy Duck and we got a Bonsai, who's an unequal 2 drop. I think you can take Daisy Duck for sure, and I think you can take Bonsai. I'm going to take Bonsai to give myself another 2 quester, but I don't disagree with anybody who says they would take Daisy Duck here. We just have a lot of evasive already, and I'm not so worried about getting that I'd rather have the strength. We didn't pick up Kenai, so we are still really low on 2 drops. So we're definitely taking another 2 drop here. Fauna is a really good 5 drop too, especially with that Ruby Chromacon. A lot of times she can just trade and trade and trade for days. But um, think we're gonna take this Lilo. Yeah, we're gonna take the Lilo. Again, I wouldn't argue with anybody who said Daisy was the pick they'd take there. Definitely gonna take a Merlin here. Really like that ability. It's when he enters and when he leaves. Library is good. Um, could take Rancis or we can take Fix It. We're probably gonna take Fix It here. We have one location, so that kind of helps synergize us. And 4/5, he takes out 4/4s and lives, so that is pretty good for stats. Arthur's good here as a 1 drop. I'm gonna take another library though. And now, if more Arthurs are offered, I'm gonna take Basil. Great 1 drop. Another library. Take this, it's inkable and might be relevant. Take this, it's inkable, might be relevant. Glimmer versus Glimmer, probably not going to run 2 if we can avoid it, but it's not bad. All right, so pack 4, we really need 1 drops, 2 drops, so that we can curve into the library and have stuff that's on the board to fight. Daisy Duck is really good here. Bruni is really good here too. Taffeta, now that we have all these locations, is good, but I think we're going to take a Daisy. We passed a lot too, so we know that there's a lot of 2 drop evasives in the pool. This Scrooge is so good. It's between Scrooge and Pete. I really like this Pete. The 4/3 for 3 is great. But we are going to take a Scrooge. 4-drop 5/5, even though it's uninkable, is just great. Turbo is a good 2-drop to get. White Rabbit's also pretty close. Hey Hey's great 5-drop. Basil's an opportunity. Monster's an opportunity. Turbo's an opportunity. But I think we're going to take this Hey Hey. Being able to have a bodyguard can mean a lot. Whew. We actually have a lot of ways to give strength. Basil. I think we have a Lilo, and we have a Hypnotic Strength. We're going to take a Nala. Not super high on it, but it is a 1-drop. We're going to take this Hypnotic Strength. Gives us even another way to activate her on the second turn. We don't need 3 Hypnotic Deductions. We'll take a Monstro. Well, we're taking 3 Hypnotic Deductions. Might be metal. No, we'll just take hypnotic deduction. Revive. We have a lot of good 5 drops. We actually probably will end up having to run that. Sleepy we'll just run. We have enough ways to activate him. And King Candy will run. Healing Decanter is also fine. Turbo, so good. That is one of the best cards we could have had come back. We're going to add all, and then we're going to go back in here and edit. So I don't really want this 7 mine, and I don't really want this Sugar Rush Speedway. Don't really want Evil comes prepared. Probably only going to run 1 Glimmer. Can we run 2 Hypnotic Deductions? Looks like we can. Oh, we still have to go through items. We're probably running all these actions. We're not running Sapphire Chronicon. We're not running 2 Metal Heroes, I don't think. And I think I am going to get rid of Sleepy. Yeah. Okay. And I think we're in a good spot. I don't know. Sleepy or the... Yeah, I'm good with this. All right, we're going to get started. So game 1, we have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and we have library, which is the curve that we're looking for. So I'm going to keep both of these 1-drops. And I think I'm even going to keep strength, put these back. Okay, we got duck for cover is not the best. We're going to ink it this first turn, and we will play play Basil. Pass. King Kit. Okay. If we don't get a 2-drop, that's okay. Oof. Inking Hypnotic Strength. We're going to play this happy. We're going to quest Basil. Yes, we'll just do that. Pass. If he wants to trade, we're fine with that because we're dropping a library, so. Surprised Cogsworth didn't give himself Rush, because it has to be another chosen character. I would give Cogsworth Rush and then have him go into, but we're going to ink this Fix-It Felix so we can play this library. And I think we're going to pass. I don't really want to quest my guys because he's able to trade into him. And now this way I can kind of save it and I can take out Nala for free. And then he still has to take my stuff. And I can move my guys to library this turn if I don't end up playing Ed, which I don't really want to ink Archimedes. So I might wait a turn if that's what it comes about. Hypnotic Deduction would be good. Yeah, that's great. I'll play this. 3 cards. I will put Revive on top. No, I'll put Deduction on top because I want to ink it next turn. And this turn I'm going to ink Basil and play Daisy. I'm going to quest Basil. Yeah, buffing Happy. Have Happy take out Nala. And pass. Arguably, maybe don't play Daisy Duck and move Basil and Happy to the library. So if he takes him out, I draw. But I don't think we're in a bad spot. This Archimedes and this Edge should help us stabilize a lot. Yeah, okay, he doesn't take either out, so that works for us. Because we're getting this, which we want to ink. We can move Happy to library. Have Happy take out King Candy. Draw a card. I'm going to have Daisy take out this Cogsworth. And we're going to play this Ed. And pass. Sorry, not move. Pass. He is going to go up a lot. Go up to 8. Oh, no, he's going to swing into library. Okay. Not too much I can do about that. I unfortunately do think it is going to have to be Ink Archimedes. Play Maiden Marian. Take from Donald Duck? Is it Take from Donald Duck? Might not be Take from Donald Duck. No, it's Take from Took. Because then challenge Daisy into Donald, so he can't do that to make me lose any more lore. And then quest Ed. Ed can't be taken out by Sneezy right now, and Took is -5, so this sets up to give me 2 chances to gain lore off of Ed. The survive is a little wasted currently. Now it's not wasted because Ludwig is great, and I can move character, and I'm gonna move Maid Marian, and I'm gonna have Maid Marian take out this Took, and I'm gonna quest Ed. And if he wants to take it out, he has to swing with both characters. Means he's not doing anything with either of them, and and then Maid Marian and Ludwig will just quest for 5. Yeah. So I'm more than happy with this because it keeps him off of the lore and it lets me keep putting the pressure on, which is partially why I moved Maid Marian to the library, is I want him to think Ed is the better target because I'm not going to draw the card when really it doesn't matter how he does it. I'm just in such a better spot because I'm going to do quest, go to 17, and then I'm going to play revive, bring Ed back, and then just move Mr. Duck to library. And even if like he has the ability to clear and Glimmer versus Glimmer my Ed, he's just in such a bad spot because library will then take me to 18 and Zazu will take me to 20. It takes out the Maid Marian. I draw a card. It's bonsai. Even like just more gas. Yeah, we're just gonna quest and win. Shield and remember who you are. This is why I mentioned that this card is a little bit of a trap. Like if you don't have a ton of 1, 2s, and 3s, remember who you are a lot of times just doesn't get you the value that you need. And even if you do have a lot of 1, 2s, and 3s, a lot of times you just get outpaced because they're able to trade their character into 2 or 3 of yours. So unless like a lot of the 1 drops and 2 drops you have are like 2 or 3 questers, like you're probably going to be a little too far behind. If you have like Daisy Duck, if you drafted 2 Daisy Ducks, I think remember who you are is something I would look way more into. I'm for sure keeping Basil and I'm for sure keeping Turbo because those are the 2 that I'm looking to play. I do have a good amount of uninkables, so I'm going to keep Hypnotic Deduction to be responsible in case I get a ton of uninkables back. But I'm looking for Library. I didn't get Library. Okay. This is a good spot to be. I'm gonna ink Chaka because I have way too many 4 drops. Might be no. I'm gonna ink. I typically will go with the higher statted, so like the extra life on Rancis is probably better. A lot of times you're fighting a lot more, especially when the opponent has the extra lore. Arthur, okay. So let's see what we get. It's inkable. Okay, yeah, we're gonna ink this happy, so we can play Turbo, quest this Basil, support Turbo. Yep. And then have Turbo take out Nala. Part of the reason I don't feel bad inking the happy there is I have Stitch to deal with evasives if it's like a Daisy Duck or something small. And then if it's something big, I kind of out tempoed him out a lot with that play because I'm gonna be able to like I was able to take out Nala and another one of his characters for almost no commitment. You're usually this character has evasive knight at a location. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Okay. We are going to play a hypnotic deduction because I'm not going to be playing a character, I don't believe. We're going to put 2 on back on top. So we're inking, we're going to go to 4. So I kind of want to play Stitch next turn. And I'll put Daisy. Yeah, I think this works. We'll put Stitch on top. Yep. And then we'll ink this deduction and pass. Gathering lore and knowledge. This card's a little bit of a trap too. I just don't think it's good enough. Gathering lore and knowledge. I guess maybe if you draft enough, maybe it works. I still don't think I would risk it. But we're going to ink this hypnotic strength. And we're gonna play Ed. We're not gonna actually play the Stitch. We are going to challenge Grumpy, take him out, and we'll quest here. Pass. Part of the reason I quest there again is if he takes out Basil, it's a turn he's not questing, and he's higher than me in lore. I have plenty of cards in hand. I do not care that he's going to take that trade. I'm like, please take it. It's good for you. You should take it. We're gonna play Ludwig, and we're gonna quest for 3. He's 3/1 questers. I'm not worried about them. I have 2/3 questers. Pete's not doing anything. So you can go to 15. I'm going to much higher. Yeah. Gonna ink both of these. Or sorry, quest both of those. Ink Rancis. Play Bonsai. He quests for 2. Play Stitch. And we're gonna pop this dock and pass. And now we've established a lot of high questers. We have 8 questing between these, and then 1 quest with Stitch. So and he just doesn't have the stats to really take my stuff out. He's like having to support and fight. It's his whole turn. It's turns that it's actions he's taking that don't gain him lore and don't really help him fight for the board. And then I have revive on board, so even if he commits trades, let's say I don't know if he's able to, but let's say he actually had enough damage to take my stuff out. I just revive, and I'm so far ahead because he used everything he could to get me there, and he didn't quest at all. And I also still would have 3 lore established behind it through these characters that weren't exerted, that were remotely safe. Like, it's just difficult for them to deal with. All right, we're going to go into game 3. Oh, this is a fantastic start. Basil into Lilo, and I even have Turbo. And then we're going to also have Library. This is just such a good start. I think I'm going to keep Felix so that I can ink him. Because this is such a good start. I really just need to make sure I have ink, and I'm good. I'll ink Maid Marian. Play this, pass. We're also on the play, so this is just so much, like, it's even better. We're going to fix it Felix. We're going to play this Lilo, and we'll quest. Part of the reason I ink the Fix It Felix is because part of the reason I ink the Fix It Felix is I'm fine with Ed being my 5-drop. We're kind of in this position where we're establishing the stuff that is going to give us so much lore. We're going to ink the Basil now. That we're just going to be much further ahead. Let's see. 3s. I think we're still just going to push. Yeah, we're still just going to push and pass. No, not move, pass. There's the argument, maybe I don't quest the Basil or the Lilo so that I can keep them safe, but I'm not too worried. Yeah, he takes a trade up. It's okay. He does have evasive this turn, though. Ink Daisy. Play this Ed. And we'll pass. But he pretty much took his turn to take that trade up. Does it say who he took the damage away or the strength from? Yeah, we're gonna ink or put Lilo back. Oh, it's exert. Shouldn't probably have done that, but it didn't end up mattering. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna take Vanellope out. Quest Ed. And debating honestly, I think we really just play this very aggressively. Yeah, he's not even threatening enough damage to take out Ed. He maybe takes out Lilo. Yeah, we're gonna play Scrooge. There is definitely the argument that I could play Sven to protect Ed, but I don't think I need to do that yet. Now, yeah, see, now I can protect Ed this turn. And I didn't ink that turn because I don't want to ink Sven. I'd rather stay on 4 ink than ink the Sven. So this brings up an interesting thing. I could play Stitch, hit his Scrooge, and quest Ed, and then Ed can't be taken out by either Scrooge or Anna, so his Scrooge has to go into my Scrooge. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. And we'll pass. Okay, he just quested. I think he knows that he's lost then. Yeah, because I just go, yeah. He just, he can't compete. He can't take the Ed out. I had this Sven for the Ed and everything, so that was a brutal last game for them. I just had that really mean curve. The ability to like have that location and have all these high questers come up after it was so valuable. I know it's been a little bit of a delay since my last video, so I appreciate everybody who's still watching and thank you so much. I haven't forgotten. I'd like to get back to a daily upload or at least uploading like 4 out of the 5 days during the week. Um, and just kind of doing that either before work or after work or something like that, and just providing something for people. Um, so there was two more things that I wanted to address. Was one thing I wanted to talk about was if there's any recommendations or anything that people would specifically like to see. I do plan on doing like tabletop simulator with some of my friends and doing sealed in drafts and doing it with real people. That way you can hear me, you can hear their commentary, we can kind of talk about it after the game, and that provides a much more enriching experience versus AI. So I definitely would like to do that. If you have any sets preference, please let me know. I'd be happy to do sealed with my friends, and as far as I know, Tabletop Simulator has all the different sets. So I would really love to do that. Um, just leave me a comment. Say what your favorite set is, or say, hey, I'd love to see you do a draft of Floodborne. I'd love to see you do sealed of first chapter, or hey, keep doing stuff for Shimmering Skies. The other thing is I'm designing a cube for me and my friends to play, which cube is a more of a magic term. So it will be cards that have themes that you'll put into this big pool. So it'll be like a pool of 360 cards, and you'll generate packs out of those 360 cards and then you'll draft them with your friends. But you'll have themes like songs, and so like this might have Naveen from the newest set, or and Ariel from the first set, and then grab your sword from the first set. Be prepared from the first set, and because it would be chromatic, being able to take any color, you could really see these decks come to life with like these crazy ideas of like these different song things, and it builds a much stronger draft, and it also helps you learn a little bit of synergy and stuff like that. And I plan to try and do that with my friends. But if there's any ideas or any recommendations that you guys have for that, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear like, oh, Rapunzel from chapter one was such a good card. You guys should definitely put it in there. I will definitely take that under consideration and most likely follow up with it and even give it a go. So, but ultimately, again, thank you guys so much. I apologize for the delay. I'm going to try and get back to a normal recording schedule. And I hope you all are having a fantastic evening and a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.